Hello Fantasy Managers, today we've got the top 5 players to watch for the upcoming Euro Fantasy. In this video we're going to take a look at 5 players that are worth considering to start in the squad for game week 1 of Euro Fantasy because they've been in very good form recently or have some very good fixtures. So just before we get into the video, don't forget to like and subscribe to show support for the channel and share this video with your friends if you guys are enjoying this type of content. And with that being said, let's get into the video. So taking a look at the first player to watch, it is Memphis Depay. Depay is coming in at £10 million and has a fairly low 13% ownership, which does make him the 6th highest owned forward. His ownership is less than the likes of Mbappe, Lukaku, Kane, Ronaldo and Lewandowski, and just considering that Depay is £1 to £2 million cheaper than these other options, I think he could be a very good striker to have in the team. Depay has been in great form for the Netherlands recently, but to accompany this in the French league, he ranks 2nd for goals and equal 1st for assists, highlighting how well-rounded he is as a player. Throughout his 3 appearances in the World Cup qualifiers, he got himself 2 goals and 2 assists, which these 4 score involvements placed him equal 3rd for total score involvements throughout the tournament. Also, with a very high total of 18 shots, he took the most shots throughout the World Cup qualifiers, highlighting how many chances he is getting for the Netherlands. Depay is obviously the main attacking threat for Netherlands up top, as there isn't too many other strong attacking players for the Netherlands, so Depay should be getting plenty of service from his teammates and is no doubt getting plenty of opportunities. Also, the Netherlands have one of the best groups in which they face Ukraine, Austria and North Macedonia, which you would no doubt expect Netherlands to dominate in, which would mean Memphis Depay to get plenty of goals. At 0.67 goals for every 90 minutes, he is scoring fairly regularly, and I just think once Netherlands get their full strength squad back, I think Memphis will be benefiting. With such great form recently and a very promising group, I think Memphis Depay could be a good differential option who is slightly cheaper up top compared to the other premium forwards. Moving on to the second player to watch coming to game week 1 of the Euro Fantasy, it is Harry Kane. Kane is coming in at £11.5 million and has the 3rd highest ownership for forwards of 35%, only behind Mbappe and Lukaku. Kane has been in great form for the Spurs this season, ranking top for both goals and assists in the Premier League. He got himself 24 goals and 13 assists across his 35 Premier League appearances, averaging over 1 score involvement per game, which is exactly what you want for a fantasy striker, especially considering his premium price. Also, England have a very promising group in which they face Croatia, Scotland and the Czech Republic, which you would expect England to dominate and be able to win all their games, which would of course mean Harry Kane getting a fair few goals throughout the group stage. With England dominating these games, Kane will no doubt be getting plenty of chances, and I'm sure he'll be keen to build on his very impressive goal and assist tally this season. In his 2 appearances in the World Cup qualifiers, he got himself 2 goals and 1 assist for England as he continued his great domestic form. Taking 6 shots at an average of 3 shots per game and getting himself 1.01 goals for every 90 minutes that he plays, he is such a consistent performer up top, and of course consistency is key when it comes to fantasy assets. With Kane being such a well-rounded player, being in great form and having a great set of opponents, he is no doubt one to seriously consider for the squad for the group stage. Moving on to the third player to watch, it is Kane's England teammate Mason Mount. Mason Mount is coming in at £7 million and has a very high 32% ownership, which makes him the 3rd highest owned midfielder in Euro Fantasy. Behind Loic Nago and Kevin De Bruyne, Mason Mount has been the 3rd selected player because of his recent impressive performances for England, getting himself a goal and an assist in his last 3 appearances in their World Cup qualifiers. He was also very impressive for Chelsea in the Premier League this season, getting himself 6 goals and 5 assists. Compared to his teammates, Mason Mount did get a fair few appearances in the World Cup qualifiers, which does fill me with confidence that he will be starting throughout the Euros. Obviously, Gareth Southgate is a big fan of Mason Mount, so this should ensure his game time as he has been so good this season. Also registering 6 shots, this is equal with Harry Kane, which means he is getting quite a few chances, and that is exactly what you want in the middle of the park, especially for such great value at £7 million. And also with a 0.67 goals for every 90 minutes, he is very good at converting his chances, which is exactly what you want for fantasy. I just think out of all the midfield options around his price range, he is definitely one of the top contenders to go into the squad. Obviously you could go for his teammate in Phil Foden at £8 million, but I just think for that £1 million cheaper, Mason Mount is the go. And as I touched on before, England have such a good group which you can almost guarantee they will be progressing in, as they should dominate all the opposition, which does look very promising for Mason Mount to get some attacking returns. Moving on to the 4th player to watch coming to the first week of Euro Fantasy, it is Hakan Calhanoglu. He is obviously a differential option, coming in at £8.5 million with a very low 1% ownership. He has been in great form recently for Turkey, and Turkey have an okay group in which they face Italy, Wales and Switzerland. It is a bit tricky, but Turkey have been playing fairly decently recently, as they did finish top of their group in the World Cup qualifiers. At £8.5 million, I think he is one of the best mid-priced midfielders in Euro Fantasy at the moment, and he is being overlooked by so many managers. Hakan had the joint most score involvements throughout the World Cup qualifiers, and in his 3 appearances he got himself 2 goals and 3 assists, registering 5 shots and having a chance creation per 90 of 1, which means he is getting so involved for Turkey. It is a bit surprising to see the top score involvement getter for the World Cup qualifiers not be involved in too many teams, and I just think he's one that's definitely being overlooked and should be put into the squads. Him and Yilmaz are the main attacking threats for Turkey, and he's providing a lot of good balls in to his strike partner, in which he can get a fair few goals and assists. Once again, I just think for his very low ownership and his very incredible recent form for Turkey, he is definitely one that I'll be looking at to bring into the squad for the first game week. Now moving on to the 5th and final player to watch for the Euro Fantasy, it is none other than Romelu Lukaku. Lukaku is coming in at £11 million and is the second highest owned striker in the game, with a very high 36% ownership, only behind Kylian Mbappe. Lukaku is playing for a very informed Belgium side, who have a very nice group as well, in which they face Russia, Denmark and Finland, which they will definitely dominate and should win all of their games, which of course will mean that Lukaku will be scoring quite a few goals, as he is getting service from many of his good teammates. With the likes of Kevin De Bruyne and co putting many balls into Lukaku, I think it is definitely worthwhile having him in the squad, as he is one of the best premium forward options. In his 2 World Cup qualifiers appearances, he got himself 2 goals, registering 7 shots at 3.5 shots per game, which is quite a lot compared to the other premium strikers. Also, in his last 7 appearances for Belgium, Lukaku has got himself 7 goals, as he just can't stop scoring for his nation. Also in the Serie A, he came second for goals and assists, which was very impressive, as he highlighted how he's such a good all-round option. If you're paying £11 million for a striker, you do want to see them in good form and have a couple of good fixtures, which is exactly what Romelu Lukaku has, so I will be expecting him to deliver some big points throughout the group stage for Belgium. So that's what we've got for today for the top 5 players to watch for the upcoming Euro Fantasy tournament. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, give it a like and subscribe to show support for the channel. And once again, share this video with your friends if you guys are enjoying this type of content. Also, leave a comment, which of these players do you guys have in the starting squad, and would you recommend anyone else to bring in? And with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next one.